So what is this H0014 Jamboree taking place in Dorset? Well, somebody mentioned 007 just now. I wonder how many of you can recognise or remember any of this. If I get the right button. And then, of course, the sun came out on this Monday morning, and we had a week of fabulous activity. One of the comments that was made by some of the people there was, I've never been able to do so much at the same time in one place. And that's what 007 gave us. And of course, you remember the magic of Sunrise Day, when we had the parade, we had the Norwegians that you just saw quickly dressed up in their Viking gear. We had the Ghanaian scouts who were joining us as well, just in a national costume, and that Sunrise Day was absolutely fabulous. At the end of 007, people kept saying, who's going to do it next year? The replies ranged from to not a chance. But you know, it's quite amazing, after 5 years, the memories fade a bit. And all you remember is the mud, which actually was quite memorable, the activities, and of course the magic of Sunrise Day. And so after that 5 years, when all the other things get forgotten and all the hassles that went with it, it's quite easy for the team to say, yeah, we'll give it another go. And that's what H0014 is all about. It's our other go at recreating a jamboree for the whole of Scouting in Hampshire and beyond. Some differences. 007 was very much section-based, so the Cubs had their own sub-camp, the Scouts had their own sub-camp, Explorers of course had their own sub-camp. This time we want to try and create it around the core fundamental part of Scouting, which is the group. So we're actually looking this time to have group camps rather than individual section sub-camps. Doesn't mean to say that where there's only one section can come along. Of course we can accommodate that, and we will. But it'd be great to see groups camp as a group with the Cubs and the Scouts together. I'll come back to these, I promise. Explorers, some of those may want to camp with a group. I know we have lots of closely linked explorers. Others may want to be an Explorer sub-camp. That's part of the decision that we can make with them as the time goes on. Again, we can accommodate both of those. Last time, the programme was very much dominated by sections. There were 3 independent programmes on Cubs, Scouts and Explorers. Actually, they barely touched each other through the whole week. This time, what we'd love to do is have more common activities, and more things where the groups can work together. So I don't know about you, the 2 phrases I love to hear is when a Cub says, when I can be a Scout, I'll be able to do that, and I think that's so important. But actually, probably even more important to me is in young Scouts saying that about an older Scout. So even within the section, we really get back to the progressive idea of Scouting, or get reinforced the progressive idea of Scouting. So that's one difference. Second difference is the site. For those that were there, remember New Park, apart from the mud? I think calling it a green field is probably about the most apt. They weren't very clean for the polo field, I don't think. The rest of it was a green field. Can you imagine the number of people and the amount of effort that was put into the site services team for that? You know, there was no experience on site to use. We had to do everything from cleaning the toilets and empty them every day, to everything else that went on the site as well. So we made a fairly prompt decision that maybe we should try to capitalise and use an existing Scout camp site. Why Dorset? Which, by the way, for people like me, who come from the far east of the county, it's a bit further, the ones on the west, it's only 20 miles across the border. Where in Dorset, Bums, 95 acres, can support 10,000 people Scouting, and has phenomenal activities already, and they have plans for more. They already have climbing walls, bouldering walls, archery, they already have shooting, they have a lake, a massive lake, where they do sailing, canoeing, dragon boating, and swimming, by the way, in the lake as well. So they already have a number of facilities and capabilities and activities already there. They also have their goose camp. They have Dorset holds a camp every few years called Goose Camp. It's their county camp. That's taking place a couple of weeks before where plannings go. They will be hiring extra marquees, extra facilities for that, and they've already agreed that they'll keep those on site for us when we go along 2 weeks later. They also have a site services team which is happy to look after us. So immediately we've taken away one of the biggest challenges that we have with 007 and for the benefit of 0014. Another change, beavers. Last time beavers were very welcome and of course came along for the Sunrise Day, as we call it then, in 007. This time, as we have discussions with our ACC beavers and other members of the beaver community, they're actually going to have the opportunity to camp overnight. On the Tuesday evening, I'll explain what we're going to do. Wednesday, on the Tuesday, come along and actually camp overnight with their groups, hopefully, or again, if they are big groups, we can accommodate them. So they'll be able to join us for the night in camp, as well as the following day, which isn't being called Sunrise Day. We did think that would be a bit cheeky, so we're trying to recreate the 100th birthday. We're actually calling it Hampshire Calling Day. That was the agreed position. We've had a few other ones on the way, like Bush Day and Whoops Day and a few other ones, but the Hampshire Calling Day we felt was actually the right message. And of course, Hampshire Calling Day, as in 007, isn't just for the scouts and the beavers and the cubs and the explorers. It's actually for anybody involved with Hampshire Scouting, including families and parents to come along. 4,000 people camped at 007, another 3,500 people turned up for Sunrise Day. I think we can do even better than that this time with both those numbers, both for the camping and for the afters as well. Some things stayed pretty much the same. The young lad, I've never been able to do so much in the same place at the same time. That is our premise, that's what we're working on as far as the programme is concerned. That's what it will be. An advantage of such a large camp is actually we have the ability, financial ability as well, to bring in lots of activities into one place that they probably wouldn't otherwise get a chance to do. We won't actually have to transport 2,000 scouts up to Dorney Lake to do dragon boat racing. Although I did get an email this summer from one of them who reminded me I'd said that they were going on the same lake that the Olympics were on, and he went up with his family to watch the Olympic rowing up there. And if you remember, in fact, he'd already been on that 5 years before, as part of 007. But we won't have to do that, we can do that on the side as well. So we actually have an ability to save a bit of money on extra coaches, but actually bring all those activities as well for the programme. So, nearly time for your lunch. Before you do, however, what do we want you to do? Well, first of all, district commissioners or representatives of districts, there was a pack outside for each of the groups in the district. There are still a few out there, so if the DC is not here, if somebody from that district would take their pack, it would be greatly appreciated. Secondly, there's a colourful stand out there which has got lots of nice bright posters on it, including a pack which actually talks about the initial interest, so more information there about what we're doing, how we're doing, and a chance to register. But most important of all is everybody in this room now has to be an ambassador for 007. We want you to go away with the same enthusiasm and excitement we've got as a team. Oh, the team, by the way, who is it? We're made up of GSLs, DCs, ABCs, desks, and the county section teams and their representatives as well. So we have a broad team that we're all excited about doing this and making sure it works for the benefit of Hampshire. And I now ask you, each one of you, to go away and promote that within your district, within your groups, within your organisation that you're working with, and let's make 0014 as memorable as we achieved with 007. Enjoy your lunch and thank you for your time.